What goes talon in talon with fashion? Well, beauty. One of the easiest ways a dragon can elevate their appearance in any social setting. Hi, I'm your host Heatwave, and in today's little episode, I'll be exploring beauty and beauty practices in the Empire of Pareena. Can you believe it? Her talons! They were coloured olive green. Olive green. What an absolutely ugly colour for a sandwing, I do say. Welcome back to the Wings of Fire spin-off series Empire of Pareena. If you haven't done so already, please leave a like, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that I publish. You know, since we are talking about beauty, I'm way overdue for a makeover. So, that's better. Now, in this episode, I'll be exploring beauty, what it is to dragons, how they perform it, and what do they put into practice, and answer the age-old question, why am I so fabulous? Anyway, beauty has an interesting field of influence. It has links in both fashion and a dragon's personal hygiene. Beauty can be seen as a substitute for fashion in some situations. Fine clothing replaced with indulgent scents and easy-on-the-eyes scales. So let's actually begin to look at scents and smells, and how dragons can, in the context of beauty, enhance them. All dragons have a distinctive smell. A male and female, even if they are of the same winglet, have a unique scent. Each winglet also has its own unique scent. For example, a sea wing may smell a lot like sea salt. The scent a dragon gives off allows their gender to be identified by other dragons, and it shows if they are fertile or not. If the scent is more defined, it means a dragon can produce healthy dragonettes. This smell is produced by glands located near the dragon's reproductive organs. They don't start to develop until a dragonette has reached about 8 or 9 years of age. So what does this mean for beauty? Well, some dragons will artificially change their scent to be more appealing, or to just have a different smell. Rainwings were the first to practice this beauty routine by rubbing herbs and spices into their scales. Lavender and mint leaf was a popular scent. It was done by rubbing the said plant or herb inside the hind legs, near the glands, achieving a change in scent, if only for a day. Now, alchemists have been able to create a new scent and bottle them in glass casings, with the intention to sell them, of course. The most popular scents are vanilla, cinnamon, and fruit mixtures, but if it can be boiled in water by an alchemist, it can be made into a scent. Now, the dragons of Pareena have access to a wide range of makeup products. These products are made out of coloured powders, crafted by smashing up bugs, leaves, and rocks into a very fine powder, and is applied by talon to the face of a dragon. The powder can be applied over the eyelids and around the eyes to bring out those details, especially in sandwings who have completely black irises, like me. Glitter is also applied. Take me, for example. Some dragons choose to paint markings into their scales. A common pattern is the rising sun arch, which can be found on other items and markings across Pareena. The paint used is typically white, and these markings are painted around the eyes and snout. All makeup only lasts a single day, needing to be reapplied every morning. I know, it's sometimes a pain, But I do look fabulous though. Some dragons choose to permanently attach gems into their scales. This was once a traditional practice dating back to before the War of Unification. The process is incredibly painful, so not many dragons choose to get these gems. The gem is mounted into a gold or silver housing with a drill at the end. The gem is pushed into the scales and held in place by tree sap. Over time, the gem will seal itself into place as the sap dries away. The gems are placed over the eyes and along the neck. One aspect of beauty that is unique to sandwings are their manes. A sandwing's mane is essentially hair, so it can be styled in some capacity. Male sandwings are culturally required to keep their manes short, while females are culturally required to keep them long. Female sandwings will style their manes by rolling them up over a metal or wooden cylinder with a small comb on one of the facings of the cylinder to comb the hair. A female will curl her mane over the cylinder, allowing it to form a spiral. The process can take a few days to perfect, but it can hold its shape for quite a long time, depending on how thick the mane is. Dragonettes are also known to curl their manes from a very young age to start practicing. But that's not all. Females can also braid their manes, which takes longer but helps protect their mane from environmental damage. Sandwings that work in labor jobs or are Imperial Army inductii will braid their manes. Then there is dyes for sandwings. These dyes are expensive as they do use squid ink mixed with coloured powders. The thick sludge is mixed into the mane, left to dry and then washed out, staining the mane a particular colour. I've got mine done, as you may see. Another beauty practice first started by sandwings is tattooing. Originally, tattooing was only done by the ruling class of sandwings, but post-War of Unification, more and more sandwings began to ink their scales with traditional sandwing letters. The process is quite painful using a sharp blade. The scales are sliced apart to then be filled in by ink that's poured into the grooves, and then it's left to bleach out in the sun. As this tradition evolved, sandwings began to colour their scales in a fashion statement, like me. My snout is orange. It wasn't always orange, but it has been stained by ink. These tattoos can take any shape, from old sandwing letters, as mentioned, to drawings of locations or other significant items to a dragon. Tattoos can be anywhere on a dragon, from wings, tails, limbs, and the face. Tattoos can be attained by any winglet. It's not exclusive to just sandwings. The final practice that dragons can take to enhance their style and pristine among other dragons in a social setting, and that is by painting talons. This practice is actually traditionally mudwing in origin. For their traditional dances, mudwings would use dye pigments to colour their talons. These would represent an object the dragon can't really hold. For example, red talons would represent blood, or orange talons representing fire or holding fire. Post-War of Unification, with the mixing of all the winglets, other dragons picked up on the practice, using dyes mixed with water and oil to make paint. It's practiced by thousands of dragons, the painting their talons, that is, from males and females, from those who occasionally do it, to those dragons who add a new coat every day. This is a lot of beauty practices for one dragon to do, especially if they aren't experienced in doing it every day. So this is where some more inventive dragons have established businesses for this exact purpose. Some alchemists that specialized in beauty products are called beauticians. These dragons not only produce the dyes, the paints, the scents for dragons to purchase, but also provide the services to apply them. A beautician, for a small amount of gold of course, can apply makeup for a dragon, style their mane if they are a sandwing, paint their talons even, done from their own shop front. A beautician is usually trained as an apprentice, learning everything they can from a more experienced beautician. A beautician's shop is better known as a parlour. They are mainly located in the major cities and settlements across Pareena, but some do travel to these smaller villages. Of course, not every winglet cares for beauty like others do. No point a sea wing getting makeup if she spends most of her time in the water. Or no point for a mudwing to paint her talons if she spends most of her time in mud. A beautician is also trained in tattoo art. While any dragon can be trained to create tattoos, beauticians are better equipped to handle these practices. And that concludes another episode of the Wings of Fire spin-off series Empire of Pareena. Thank you very much for listening. I've been your host Heatwave, signing off.